Welcome back to the channel. Similarities between four seemingly different books. And books can be united not only by genre, but its writing style and maybe writing techniques. So I have four books for you, and the first one is Neuromancer, a William Gibson cyberpunk. I have Stephen Erickson, Gardens of the Moon. I have Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe, science fiction. And I have Shogun by James Clavell, which I'm reading at the moment. I've just had a great talk with Rick, who's been on the channel from time to time. We had a great talk about not only Shogun, maybe less about Shogun, we're going to continue that, but also about writing in itself, writing techniques and writing your own story. There are a few things I think unites these four books. The first one is complexity. The complexity of the plot, many characters, many twists and turns. You can mind map these books if you want to, and maybe still not understand everything on a first read. You can reread them. So complexity is one thing that unites them. I think the show don't tell is maybe more obvious with Gardens of the Moon, with Neuromancer, and also with Book of the New Sun. But I would say it's there in Shogun because there is a lot of political scheming. And the other books, there are many concepts that we don't know so much about, like Warrens, like the Matrix, that we now know what it is since we watched the Matrix movie, for example. And we also have the symbolism in the Book of the New Sun, which is related a lot to Christianity and Catholicism, for example. But it's in the mind of the beholder and the reader what all these terms and concepts actually mean. So that is something that unites the books too. Conversational style I've talked about as well. I think the authors in some ways are similar because they want, except from James Clavell, I suppose, but they want to tell you something new. They want to be pioneers in their literary field. I suppose James Clavell was that too, because the stereotypes that usually are not only against the Asians, which maybe is the post-colonial thing, there are a lot of prejudices against the Europeans, the British being very filthy and dirty, unhygienic, for example, and the conflicts between the Catholics and the Protestants. So all these authors are pioneers, I suppose, in storytelling. I think that is different. Is that I mean, maybe it's similar. It's long books. Actually, it's a book series. When I think about it, actually Shogun is that too. So the plot line is more elaborated. It's more like a HBO TV show, for example. So that is just some thoughts for me from me to you. It's late here. I just wanted to tell you this, see how you react. Do you think these books are similar? Have you read all the books? If you haven't, would you like to try some of one of these books out? I'll show them again for you. Gardens of the Moon by Stephen Erickson. Innovative, complicated fantasy fueled by inspiration from mythology. If you haven't tried this one, do it. It will increase your understanding for fantasy and understand that fantasy is not only for young people, even though that such kind of fantasy can be very good. This is fantasy that wants to challenge us and challenge stereotypes. We have Neuromancer, which I'm reading right now, which was back in the 84 or 80s, something very new. The concepts described here, no clue, I suppose, in the 80s what they meant. Still, when I read it, I can have some problem with it because It's very, very new to me. Cyberpunk is new to me. I would like to write more in the cyberpunk genre. But you're a bit of a stranger in this world when you read it. I can imagine that's the case when you read fantasy like Erickson, if you never read fantasy. But that gives a lot of inspiration for your imagination, and you can feel very fresh, uh, innovative, and you can get help with imagination, and you can get help with your creativity. We have the Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe, a masterpiece in many ways, I think, about Severian, the torturer, who is expelled from his guild, has to redefine his identity. A lot of references to Christianity, a lot of symbolism, a lot of between lines here. So the book is much thicker than these pages when it comes to meaning. By the way, Neuromancer is about Mr. Case, who's working for a company, but he breaks the rules and is expelled from the company, but he also gets one of his body parts um, taken away from him, and meets some other people who replace that body part, but it also means that they own him, so he has to work for them. Kind of a classic cyberpunk story, I suppose. And then we have Shogun, about Blackthorn, pilot, 1400s, who come to Japan when Japan is in turmoil. The feudal Japan is breaking down. At the same time, you have European colonization, Portuguese, and the British in this case, or the Spaniards, the religious people from Spain. The conflict is between Catholicism and Protestantism. It's a time of upheaval, and that is also maybe similarities between these books. We're talking about times of political turmoil or existential or identity crisis within the persons we are reading about. So let me know if you have read the books. Are these thoughts interesting for you? Do you agree? If you like the video, like it, subscribe, share it. If you're interested in my writing journey or with cyberpunk, watch the latest video. If you're interested in listening to authors like Steven Erickson, check in the playlists, and Christopher Rucchio, science fiction author, for example, and also talks with other book people out there. It can be booktubers, but also people who follow channel and people who have becomes friend thanks to this channel. So happy to see you. We are growing a little bit again. Good night.